buttonhole stitch and the related blanket stitch are hand-sewing stitches used in tailoring, embroidery, and needle lace making. Buttonhole stitches catch a loop of the thread on the surface of the fabric and needle is returned to the back of the fabric at a right angle to the original start of the thread. The finished stitch in some ways resembles a letter L, depending on the spacing of the stitches. For buttonholes the stitches are tightly packed together, and for blanket edges they are more spaced out. The properties of the stitch make it ideal for preventing raveling of woven fabric. Buttonhole stitches are structurally similar to feather stitches. Applications: in addition to reinforcing buttonholes and preventing cut fabric from raveling, buttonhole stitches are used to make stems in crewel embroidery, to make sewn eyelets, to attach applique to ground fabric, and as couching stitches. Buttonhole stitch scallops, usually raised or padded by rows of straighter chain stitches, were a popular edging in the 19th century. Buttonhole stitches are also used in cutwork, including embroidery on glaze, and form the basis for many forms of needle lace variants. Examples of buttonhole or blanket stitches include blanket stitch, buttonhole stitch, closed buttonhole stitch, in which the tops of the stitch touch to form triangles, crossed buttonhole stitch, in which the tops of the stitch cross, detached buttonhole stitch, in which rows of buttonhole stitches are worked to form a floating filling stitch, buttonhole shading, in which rows of buttonhole stitch are sewn in related colors to give a naturalistic shaded effect. Buttonhole stitches combined with knots include top knotted buttonhole stitch, German knotted buttonhole stitch, tailor's buttonhole stitch, Armenian edging stitch. Buttonhole bars are parallel rows of thread laid across an open space in lace or cutwork and then completely covered with closely spaced buttonhole stitches. Stitch gallery.